Murray, the chief of the Yakima Police Department. At approximately 3:30 this morning, we received a call of a male who was shooting parties at the location of 18th and Nob Hill, 18th Street. When officers arrived, they located 3 deceased parties at the Circle K store and quickly realized that there was a second shooting scene across the street at the AM/PM. I want to remind everybody this is really new. It's dynamic. Things are changing. We're getting new information constantly, so I can give you the best information we have at this time. It appears to be a random situation. There was no apparent conflict between the parties. The male just walked in and started shooting. We do have video from the security at the store, and we're collecting other video. There was also eyewitnesses who've given us information. We do believe that there's possibly a fourth victim. We don't know their condition. The man, after he left the Circle K, went across the street and shot into a vehicle. You can see the party in that vehicle move to the passenger seat, and then the suspect stole his car. The suspect fled eastbound on Nob Hill, out Highway 24, and so we don't have his location at this time. The suspect vehicle is a gray or silver sedan Chrysler. They believe a Chrysler 200. And we don't know the license plate. We don't know who the victim is at this time. We don't know who the suspect is. We do have some good photos of the suspect that we will be releasing shortly.
Hunt for the gunman came to an end just outside their front doors at a sheriff's substation. The 67-year-old man, suspected of killing at least 7, taken into custody in the sleepy coastal town of Half Moon Bay after being spotted by a deputy.
He saw the suspect inside of the vehicle laying there in the front seat, and then also was able to see a weapon.
California's second mass shooting in 48 hours happened at 2 different agricultural locations just miles apart. Authorities say at the first scene, just before 2:30 p.m. Monday, 4 were killed, a 5th gunned down in critical condition. Minutes later, the gunman driving down the road and allegedly taking 3 more lives. The sheriff saying the bloodshed unfolding in front of families and children who live on the property.
I cannot imagine what those kids witnessed today.
Authorities have now identified the suspect as 67-year-old Chun-Li Zhao, the sheriff saying he worked at the mushroom farm where investigators believe he took the lives of co-workers.
People saw him there today, and it seemed like a normal day for everyone. And then this tragedy happened.
2 after the shooting, the 67-year-old was arrested. This mass shooting rocking the state just 2 days after investigators say a 72-year-old man killed 11 people in Southern California.
We're still reeling from one, and I was there consoling my colleagues who represent those areas. The next thing I know, they're consoling me.
Governor Gavin Newsom was still in Los Angeles when he heard about the shooting in Northern California, tweeting in part, "Tragedy upon tragedy." This morning, another mass shooting and 7 more lives lost.
It hurts. Our hearts are broken.
A sense of heartbreak that seems tragically routine.
County, 2 people shot and killed at a gas station, a chaotic scene. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez saying 50 to 70 rounds fired.
All this happening in a broad daylight off of Ella Boulevard and Barron Springs Drive. And that is where our Bryce Newberry is reporting live tonight. Bryce?
Yeah, Daniela and Brandon, you can see investigators still very busy in this gas station parking lot. And you can see they're also very focused on that maroon SUV. That's where they say those 3 men were sitting when all of a sudden 3 men in another car pull up. They got out all masked up, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says, with long rifles and opened fire on the men sitting in that red SUV. You can see on the ground all of those evidence markers. Again, 50 to 70 rounds fired is what the sheriff estimates. 2 men inside that red, 2 men inside of the red SUV. They were killed here at the scene. Another one, though, he was injured, and the suspects then took off in a white sedan. Sky 2 flew the scene earlier this afternoon, and you can see just how busy the area was. Still a lot of investigators out here, very busy, and a lot of neighbors, onlookers. The sheriff stressed how lucky it is that this wasn't worse. This is 3:45 in the afternoon. Kids coming home from school, an apartment complex just across the street. And so now investigators do have this gas station parking lot shut down as they process the scene. There are surveillance cameras on the gas station, which will hopefully help them see exactly how all of this unfolded. But here's how the sheriff describes what happened.
It pretty much looked like it was an ambush style attack from the get-go, and they exited with, some very serious firepower and just opened fire on the vehicle.